Hey everybody, welcome to Culinary Characters Unlocked. I'm David Page. On this episode, the chef behind the restaurant the New York Times ranked as #1 in New York City for 2025. He also won the year's James Beard Award for Best Chef in New York State. Here's Vijay Kumar. Chef, how are you? Thank you for doing this.
Hello, David. How are you? Thanks for having me here.
I'm great and delighted to be talking with you. Best Chef in New York State, just the latest in a string of awards you've received. The New York Times named your restaurant the #1 restaurant in New York for 2025. Must feel pretty good.
Oh, what a blessed moment. I still often pinch myself, make sure it's not dream or something.
You say you are working to change the conversation around Indian cuisine in America. How are you doing that, and how does it need to change?
I think we all forgot what we used to eat back home. At some point, we were trying to fit into somebody else's mold by thinking we're completely forgetting who we are, right? I think the goal is try to be who we are. Just cook the food of what you grew up eating it and don't change anything just for somebody else.
Well, that's not necessarily the food that we in America think of as Indian food, right? Because it's a huge country with a bunch of cuisines.
Right. I mean, every state has a different cuisine. Like if you go to India, every state has a different language, different cuisine.
And this is a population of 1 billion people.
Apparently, we're #1 in the world now. we beat China.
Okay, so your cuisine is Tamil cuisine, correct?
Right. So I was born and raised in Tamil Nadu. It's a small town in Tamil Nadu. There's a city called Madurai, very close to Madurai. So our cuisine is, Semma is mostly Southern Indian restaurant, but mainly we focus on Tamil cuisine. That's a cuisine that what I grew up eating it. Southern Indian food and Tamil food. The food is definitely different from Northern Indian food. Lighter. It's not too heavy with the cream or butter, right? We use a lot. It has a lot of vegetables, a lot of seafood, and obviously it has meat too. Southern India it's a tropical land, where the weather is tropical, so you pretty much get everything. Basically, you eat what you grow back there, what you raise back there, what you sustainably get everything back in South India.
You grew up on a family farm.
Yes. We didn't have a refrigerator, so there was no such thing you get meat and you freeze it, or you cook food, you refrigerate it. You have to cook 3 meals a day, fresh. Literally, you get the vegetables fresh off the from your farms, or pretty much you can get the seafood, or from the seafood vendor, or a local and river caught fish. Things like that. So it's everything is fresh, completely fresh.
Who was your culinary mentor? Your mom, your grandmother?
I would say both. Growing up, seeing them cooking, and mostly my mother. I've definitely been my grandmother also. They were the most important mentor in my life. That's why my culinary inspiration actually started.
Okay. It's one thing to watch mom and grandma cook. It's another thing to say, I want to do that for a living. How did that happen?
I don't know. The passion just started when we're seeing them cooking, right? It's very fascinating when you see mothers and grandmothers cooking. Sometimes we just take things for granted and we don't know how hard they work. And like I said, they had to cook 3 meals a day. It just connects us at the table when we all sit together and eat, and when we share the story that what happened the day, how was our day. It just seeing them, the passion that they put into food and cook the food. It's actually different feeling, right? It connects you. It gives you a lot of emotion through the food. I was like, what? This food has some kind of power. So I had a lot of passion for cooking, seeing them, whatever they feed you on the plate, and it's just not the food. It gives a lot of emotion. It gives so much love. So I think I always have such kind of passion for cooking. Although I wanted to be an engineer, just like the rest of the Indian student, but financially it couldn't happen. So I just chose my passion.
So what was the path? You got out of high school and went to culinary school? What happened?
After my high school, I did culinary school for 3 years, where I got graduated. And then I started working in 5-star hotels in India, and I got an opportunity to work in San Francisco with my friend, and that's how my culinary career picked up.
Let me back you up 1 second. You worked in hotels, I guess the Oberoi chain, which is very high-end.
I trained in Oberoi for about 6 months. We call it industrial training. Then I got an opportunity to work in Taj Hotel in Chennai. Chennai. Yeah, that was my culinary route actually. That's how I started my culinary career.
I read on your biography, you worked on cruise ships for a while?
It was a little bit, yes. I worked on a cruise ship a little bit. In a cruise ship, it's massive cooking. It's a, if you get to choose one thing, you have to keep doing the same thing over and over. So I think cruise ship also taught me a little bit, how you can be efficient, how you can do things a lot more faster. It didn't feel there was much of creativity there. So yeah, but I definitely learned a lot from cruise ship too.
Okay, so how'd you get to San Francisco?
My friend, he was working there, so he got me a job there. So that's how I landed in San Francisco.
Straight to San Francisco. Had you been to the States before?
I was in Virginia, Richmond, Virginia before San Francisco.
Okay, back up. You went to Richmond to work or what?
Yes.
Okay, so after the hotels,
right,
you came to the States. Where and to do what?
My friend got me a job in Richmond, Virginia. So I worked there for a little bit. There's then my other friend who worked in San Francisco. So that's where I got the job, in San Francisco.
What restaurant?
There's a restaurant called Dosa in San Francisco.
So what'd you do there?
I was a cook. I worked there for 6 years. Yeah. So my friend was heading the kitchens and he left to India. Then I took over. So I ran the kitchen for 6 years.
Is that where you got your Michelin star?
So after Dosa, then I got an opportunity to work in a place called Rasa, a contemporary Indian restaurant. So that's where I got my very first Michelin-starred.
Well, you got a Michelin star 4 straight years, right?
5 years in a row.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
So, pardon the naivete of this question, but it's a huge jump to that quality, that level, that skill of cooking. Did you just have it? Were you born with this? I mean, obviously you worked in hotels, you'd worked up to it, but what inside you come to the States and you're earning Michelin stars. What made that happen?
See, the goal is, I don't think I never was aiming for Michelin star. I think the goal is to just cook the food, truly from your heart, right? So that was the goal. Anything I do, I just had to do from my heart, right? I just don't want to do anything like half-heart or whatever, right? I mean, none of us knew that we were going to get a Michelin star, not even in our dream, right? So we just wanted to cook the food truly from the heart. We just want to focus on the quality of the cooking, the quality of the ingredients. I just want to cook like how you cook for your, family members. So I think the rest, everything just happened just with all the God's grace.
And we'll be right back. At Rasa, were you cooking the food you grew up with from southern India?
The flavors, yes, southern Indian food, but it's slightly like a contemporary, I would say, where we cooked with a lot of Californian vegetables, using a little bit of modern techniques, with the basic southern Indian flavors. And
deep inside you, were you wishing that you could go a step further toward what you grew up with? Yeah. That was
the idea why the Semma was born. Actually, I was cooking contemporary southern Indian food. At some point, it felt like, I think we still not cooking the real food what we grew up eating it. It's like, I think that my first job in Virginia, right, in the United States, I was cooking very stereotype Indian food where it was actually a little bit of sad to, see how this Indian food has been represented in America, right?
Chicken tikka masala, lamb vindaloo.
And things like that. There's only a few dishes which we can name it. I was like, I don't know this is a real Indian food. But thank God, San Francisco changed a lot. We were cooking southern Indian food. It was very close to home cooking, but it's not exactly how we cook back home. So it was actually a little bit of, craving for, at some point we had to cook the real food. Okay, so you don't just open a restaurant in New York. It's 2021. You're a very successful chef in San Francisco. You and a couple of friends put together a plan to open Semma. Does Semma what's Semma mean? So Semma means fantastic in Tamil. Okay, you decide we're going to open a restaurant in New York. How the hell did you make that happen? That was scary as hell. It's definitely scary. I mean, first of all, moving from coast to coast, it's a very, right after COVID, it's not easy, it's risky. I knew inside me, I was literally scared to death, what the hell is going to happen? Am I making a right decision? Literally I was driving from coast to coast. Literally I drove from San Francisco to New York with my good friend. And we're going to open a restaurant in New York and we don't know what's exactly is going to happen. Every single time I was driving, I was actually thinking in my head, oh my God, am I making a right decision? What I'm doing and what I'm thinking right now. I'm opening a restaurant right after COVID and we're trying to open up a restaurant with authentic Indian food, authentic Southern Indian food. It was actually very scary. And then when we planned the menu, we planned to put all the dishes like snails and goat intestines. Snails, not so unusual for New Yorkers. Goat intestine,
I don't know.
Yeah, so it was actually very scary. That's a food that what we grew up eating, right? So it's like, we wanted to cook the food, like what real food. The question is, will America will accept it and New York will accept it? It was not an easy decision to open a Semma with this kind of food. At some point, somebody has to do it. If everybody is hesitating, everybody's trying to put in somebody else's mold, when we're going to showcase the real food to the Americans. So that's how Semma was born. It was a very, very ballsy move. It's a very scary move, very, very risky move, but it just worked out with all this God's blessing.
Your partners had a reputation in New York?
Yeah, they had a restaurant called the Maka.
It was Indian cuisine from elsewhere in the country?
Northern Indian.
Northern Indian.
Yeah.
So they already had a reputation, so that was going to get you looked at.
So people come with expectation, like, let's see what these guys are going to do.
What happened?
Within a couple of months, I would say, I think all this local, obviously the guests loved it. Whoever came there, they loved it. And then there was a lot of local media picked it up right away, like Infatuation, Eater. Almost all the local, media wrote about us. And New York Times wrote a review. So that actually gave us a little extra confidence. Like, what, we're doing something right. So I think we are on the right track. Let's keep pushing it.
When did you get your Michelin star?
At the end of 2022, like October 2022.
According to the Michelin write-up, this is authentic Indian cooking that doesn't pander to American expectations. And if some of the dishes are unfamiliar, lean on the staff who know their stuff and are eager to share. One bite in and you'll quickly learn that this cooking is all heart. Did people take them at their word? Do people come in and basically say, I don't know this, what should I have?
No. Like, people know exactly what do they expect, right? They come here. We also get mixed of guests, right? We have Indians, we have non-Indians. The feedback what we get from Indians, especially Southern Indians, there's a lot of emotional feedback. I can see there's so many guests, like literally, there's a tears in the eyes saying that this is felt like literally my mother's cooking, my grandmother's cooking. I feel like I'm in my aunt's place, my grandparents' place. You feel like I haven't had my mom's cooked food for such a long time. So it actually brings a lot of like emotional memories to them. It makes us so happy to see all those, the happy tears. And non-Indians also, like, because they all travel to India. They know exactly what authentic Indian food is, especially New York. A lot of New York has to travel like intensely to various parts of the world. So they also know, and and then they appreciate the fact how the quality of the food and the flavor, like, everything.
What is the general flavor profile of this kind of cooking? To go back to the Michelin guide, dishes are spicy, but the heat is used as elegantly as it is liberally. What does that mean?
Basically, we're not turning down the spices for, we're not trying to fit into somebody else's mold. That's pretty much, I think they're saying that we're not turning down the spices. Oh, you know what? That's non-Indians are coming to restaurants. Let's turn down the spices. Let's cook for them. Let's try to place them. We're not trying to do this. We're trying to cook the food, our food, just like how we grew up eating it.
Coming right back. Well, let's go through some dishes, and I'll quote, I think this is Michelin one more time. Start with and I apologize for what's going to be a terrible mispronunciation.
It's okay.
They recommend starting with what they call your childhood snack, mulai katya thaniyam.
You got it right. You got it. Mulai katya thaniyam. Yes.
Hey, all right. What is it?
Thani means like cereal, which is like sprouted cereals. Like, this is basically my childhood snack. What my mom used to make it.
What is it? The menu says mung beans.
Yes, growing up in a farming family, like, in a small village, we didn't have a luxury of having either candy shop, like pastry shop, like, I come back from school. Let me take you to some coffee shop. I'll get you some candies for you. I'll get some pastry for you. We didn't have that luxury, right? So basically, it's a small village where you have to eat whatever you have in your home, whatever you grow in your farms. So this is it. So basically, my mom used to make a snack out of cereals, like, all the lentils, like whatever that we have from our farm. So she used to make a snack, like, basically what she does is like sprout the mung bean, which takes about 24-40 hours just to sprout the mung bean, because you have to soak the lentils in the water.
Sprouted mung beans.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
How do you turn that into a snack?
She used to toss them with smoked chilies, mustard seeds, grated coconut, and all the seasoning and little lemon. And it just comes out. It's a humble snack, but it's a very healthy snack. But it's also tasty and refreshing. So yeah, those are the snacks that what I used to grow up. That was my snack when I was a kid, right? So I just want to bring back all those memories. So that was the idea of keeping that dish on the menu.
So back in the kitchen, you've got rows of mung beans sprouting?
Yes, we do. We do like pounds of movie. We sprout them overnight, and then we just it'll be sold out the next day. So we had to keep making fresh every single day.
Wow. Look, I'm going to bounce around the menu, but jump in with your favorites as we go. You questioned earlier whether you were going to put snails on the menu, and I see, again, pardon the pronunciation, natai piratal.
Nattai paratal, nattai. Yeah,
It says the definition of pecanic snails. Okay, first of all, what's pecanic?
Chicanik. That's a farm in Long Island.
You have a snail farmer?
Yeah, that's only one snail farm in the entire country. Where I hear like Europe has so many snails farm in Europe, but US there was no much of snail. That's only one in the entire country actually. Where usually they get the snails in a frozen farm in a can or whatever it is, right? So we get the snails. Okay, again, we just don't. We want to really focus on the quality of ingredients. We just want to cook how my grandmother cooks it back home. We just want to cook my mother cooks back home, right? So we focus on the quality of the ingredients. We want to make sure we get the best quality of the ingredients possible. So we happen to found the farm called Peconic snail in Long Island. If you go online, you'll see the very interesting factor of how they raise the snails. Even they play music to keep the snails happy.
What?
Yes,
They're
yes.
playing music?
Yes. They do.
Okay, and what are they feeding them? What do you feed a snail?
Like a basil leaves, basil oil. It's very interesting. I think you have to go see on the online how they feed it. Taylor used to be a chef. He has a passion for growing snails, so that's why he's doing it. And we get the fresh snails from him, and then for our snail dish that's on the menu.
Are these? I mean, I'm familiar with eating snails prepared in the French fashion, which has always seemed to me to be an excuse to dip a baguette in butter.
We had a lot of criticism in the beginning, like first couple of months, right? Like even from the Indians, because they're not really familiar with why there's a snails on the menu. Are you guys like, have you never seen snails on the menu? Because people who criticize because they've never been to like a village in India, right? Because if you think about it, like so many population in India comes from a village where they have very different lifestyle. Where, like I said, there was no electricity in many villages till now, where they don't have a refrigerator. They have to eat what they grow in their farms, what they sustainably get, like things like snails. You have to go for a hunting, they have to go for a fishing. It's still there in the villages. People like that, they really understand what kind of lifestyle that we used to live, what kind of food that we used to eat. And then we had to tell them, they realize, oh my God, so I'm sorry, I didn't even know this kind of food exists in like in village part of India. So anyway, so that was the idea of having snails on the menu.
Are these big?
They're tiny.
Tiny.
They're tiny, yeah.
Okay. How do you prepare them?
So basically, just like how my grandmother cooked it, we make a gravy first with all the spices, caramelized onions, tomatoes, and tamarind. That's the one that it's basically a little tangy and spicy, and it's a lot of flavorful with all the spices.
Do you taste the snail, or is it just a flavor delivery system?
You can taste the snails, obviously, yes. I mean, what do you mean delivery system? I didn't get that.
Well, when I eat snails in a French restaurant, the fact of the matter is all I taste is butter and garlic.
Right. Well, when you taste our snails, it's now you don't taste just the butter. You're going to taste the spices. You're going to taste the snails. It's all going to incorporate together, right? So the Indian food is all about spices and flavor. It has to be flavorful.
Explain a few other dishes that I might not have ever seen that you grew up on, or that Indians from other parts of India or from more urban areas might not have seen.
Right. We also change the menu very, very often. So we had the menu with a rabbit, wild rabbit. We had the menu with, we had a dish with goat intestines.
Tell me about that one. Because look, intestines are not unknown. I mean, you got chitlins in the American South. You've got tripe, which is stomach lining. But what do you do with a goat intestine? How do you serve that?
So you get the goat intestine. Obviously, you have to clean that very, very nicely before you cook anything.
Which, as the executive chef and owner, is not a job you have to do yourself anymore.
Well, you have to do it if you need to. It doesn't mean that it's not your job.
Yeah, but you've got a staff, I hope. Anyway, continue. So you clean the goat intestine, then what?
I have to correct you. It's not like executive chef doesn't have to do anything. If I had to wash the dish, I have to wash the dish. Sorry.
Okay. I apologize. I was trying to make life easier for you, but continue.
Well, I wish my life is easier. I mean, it's not like, I want to be very particular. I do only this job. I do only that. And that's not the case. If you're a chef, if you're a owner, I wash the dishes. I clean the toilets. I've done everything. I'm still doing it.
I did not mean to minimize your involvement.
It's okay.
Back to the intestines.
Right. So intestines, where you have to clean, you have to like it has to be cleaned thoroughly in order to before you cook the intestines. Once it's cooked, and then you have to slow cook them with all the spices, with the turmeric, ginger, garlic, and all those things, because it takes a lot of time to cook it, because otherwise it'll be very chewy. First, this is how we do back in Southern India. I'm sure every cuisine has a different way of cooking, right? So we par cook it first, then you make a gravy first with all the caramelized onions, tomatoes. There's a lot of spices, including poppy seeds, green cardamom, clove, cinnamon, and I can go on with the spices. There's about 10-15 spices. You toast all the spices first, make a paste out of it, and you add to the caramelized onions and tomatoes. You cook them all together, make a nice gravy out of it. Then you add the par cooked goat intestine to the gravy. Then cook them again together to get all the flavors from the spices. And then it'll be like you have to cook it till it gets soft and tender. If you don't cook it right, it might be chewy, but you have to know how to cook it, when to stop cooking it, how long it has to be cooked.
Do you get a lot of New Yorkers who try it?
Oh, they have, yes. And then we took it off of the menu, and then they're asking for it. They come back, I came for goat intestines. So how come it's not on the menu again? So because now we had to tell them we had to switch the menu very often, because we can't get the same menu over and over. We may have to bring the bag again.
Okay, let's talk about, quote, proteins. What are the various kinds of, I guess, lamb, beef? What kind of meats end up on the menu?
The goal is cook the food what we grew up eating it, right?
What meats were available when you were growing up in Southern India? What,
like a goat? Mm-hmm. We eat a lot of goat. We get everything from goat, goat intestines, goat blood. Even we eat the goat blood and goat brain.
What do you do with goat blood? Is it like black sausage?
That's a dish called goat blood poriyal, which means you cook the goat blood with the mustard seeds and grated coconut, red chilies. It's a very tasty dish. I mean, even though it sounds kind of weird, like, oh, why do you guys eat blood? It's a very healthy and nutrient dish. That's tasty too, if you cook it right. So yeah, things like whatever you get out of goat, goat intestines, goat blood, and goat brain, we don't waste anything. So
and that's been a criticism of American cuisine generally, which is that we don't eat the whole animal. Do you think that's changing at all?
In New York, I feel like it's changing it. The amount of the appreciation that we get in the restaurant, it looks like it's been changing. So I hope it's going to change soon.
You've got at least one dish with lobster on the menu.
Right. So it's like I said, it's not only Tamil food. It's not only from Tamil Nadu. It's also from other parts of southern India, where they also have a dish from Kerala. Kerala has so many seafood. So where they eat, naturally they eat a lot of seafood and, all the seafood from the backwater. So there's, they love eating seafood. So we have some seafood dish called meen polichedi, which is the fish that's wrapped in banana leaf, and also the lobster that's cooked in a coconut milk. And yeah.
Is there lobster available off the coast of India?
Oh yeah, of course. Like I said, it's India. It's a huge country. And if you go to like I said, Kerala is by the ocean, right? So they have a lot of seafood from the ocean, even from the backwater. They have a lot of backwater too. So they love seafood. They have a lot of seafood dishes from that particular region.
I noticed, speaking of seafood, you've got a limited availability pre-order dish called Kanya Kumari Nandu Masala for 2?
Yes.
How close did I get?
Almost 70-80%.
You say it. Give me the other 20%.
Kanyakumari Nandu Masala.
Okay.
Kanyakumari.
Okay, fine.
So Kanyakumari,
we'll continue this offline. What is it? It's Dungeness crab and what else?
We use Dungeness crab here. Obviously, we can't get we like to use the fresh seafood, what is available here locally, because we don't want to get seafood from India, right? So basically, the seafood this is from Tamil Nadu. Kanyakumari is one of the coastal town where there are a lot of seafoods, and this dish is very popular over there. It has a lot of spices. You make the gravy first, just like how we did with the intestines, but it's a different proportion of spices, different different types of spices, but different proportion, also different ratio of spices. So you cook them with the caramelized onions, tomatoes, and all the spices, and make a nice gravy out of it. You feel a lot of peppery, there's a aroma from a curry leaves, from black pepper. There's all kind of spices. So I think it's even we were getting a lot of requests from the guests, can you sell this sauce in the bottle so we can buy it? So yeah, so it's that tasty, and it's yeah.
Okay, I should know this and I don't. The ingredient that is listed with this dish is paratha?
Paratha it's a Southern Indian bread. It's like a flaky bread. It's like, just think of like a flattened croissant. So it's like a very flaky, very tasty bread.
It's tough running a restaurant these days.
Yes.
Are you feeling the crunch? You've won all these awards, so I don't suppose you're having trouble filling the place. But economically, is it difficult?
I mean, everyone knows like running a restaurant it's so labor intensive. I mean, places like us, we focus a lot on quality. We just want to make sure we use the best quality of the ingredients possible. We want to look for the best superior quality ingredients, and we want to make sure our staff is very happy. They've been taken care of very well. Running a restaurant, I mean, definitely it's a balancing act. You have to enjoy what you do. If you don't really, I mean, it's not like a 9 to 5 job. You just come 9 and you go home at 5. There's no timing involved. For me, as soon as I wake up, I check the emails, right? I deal with a lot of, at least 2-3 hours. As soon as you wake up, we'll be on your phone dealing with all the vendors and emails, all those things. Right? That's a routine day of life. Then you'll be on your feet at least 10 to 12 hours a day. It's a long hours. It's not just for me, for every single chef. You just have to enjoy what you do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yes, definitely running a restaurant, it's not that easy. And it's also, the interesting fact in a restaurant, when you talk to guests, I think like I mentioned earlier, it shows how it connects you with people. It's interesting how literally connects you from heart to heart. You can get the emotional connection. I mentioned, how the guest used to literally cry, with the happy tears. So that actually makes you very happy, give you a lot more responsibility. Or you know what? It is hard. It's fine. Let's keep doing the best we can do. Look at the happy people that we feed every day. At least 200 people a day that we feed, right? How happy they're leaving it. When they leave the door, and then they literally shake your hand, what? Thank you so much for bringing this flavor to America. We love it so much. And thank you for bringing it back home here in the middle of Manhattan. And I'm missing home, but after eating your food, it actually gives me so much joy. So those are the things it's even though it is definitely, I mean, coming back to your question, it is definitely, it's difficult to run a restaurant. It's not that easy, but you just have to enjoy what you do.
Okay. You are deeply committed. You are passionate. You get your joy out of pleasing people with your food. Is it tough to find service and kitchen staff who share that? I mean, look, young people in America get roundly criticized for their, quote, work ethic these days, for not wanting to give up personal life for the job. How tough is it to hire?
It's, I'm fortunate enough to have a team who's like a family to me, right? I mean, I've been hearing from other friends in the industry saying that it's getting so difficult getting the work ethic people for the industry. But I feel like I'm very fortunate. I'm very blessed to have a team who's literally like a family. Who has the same equal amount of passion that I have for the cooking and for the restaurant. So I think that way I feel so blessed that how much blessed team that I have.
What are your plans going forward?
Just going with flow, following God's destiny. That's it. Whatever He decides, I'm just going to go with the destiny. That's it.
Whatever that flow is, I hope it remains wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And first of all, it's been a real delight meeting you.
Thank you.
And I just want to tell you, what you're doing is fantastic.
Thank you so much. I really wish you can come to a restaurant one day and then we can feed you. You can try all these unknown dishes, what we do in Semma, and I hope you enjoy it.
Chef, I'm only an hour and a half away.
Please do.
I will make my reservation as soon as we're done talking.
Please do. Yeah.
I will be there.
Awesome.
Chef, congratulations and thank you again.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Thank you.
So I made that reservation and I had dinner at Semma. And I gotta tell you, it really was terrific. Everything I tried, the mung beans, snails, oxtail, prawns, and a whole lot more of Chef Kumar's menu was simply remarkable. And that's it for this edition of Culinary Characters Unlocked. I'm David Page, and I'll see you next time.